we're going to talk about the passions, and we're going to get into them. The passions are these tricky things that nobody really wants to identify with, and they separate us from our essence nature, from our own divinity, and they are the path back to it.
What?
Yeah, what? It is the separator and the path back to it, and we're going to give you examples of that. Can you talk about how the passion of the 6, which is fear, showed up in your life?
Yeah, it's the fear of the 6 isn't just fear like we know it. The fear that we're talking about is this non-stop anxiety. It's like it moves. It never shuts down. Once you start paying attention to it, it's never not there. Think about it like the existential angst. That's the kind of fear that we're talking about. You don't even know why you're afraid.
Yep.
You're just somewhere afraid all the time. And so that, how in the world could that lead me to anything good?
Yeah.
And it does. It's this weird...
it's absolutely bizarre.
The way that the passion works, so the fear and the anxiety are what I'm trying to get away from. So there's all these strategies, managing, planning, hypervigilance, all these strategies so that fear isn't encountered. Mm-hmm. And the truth of it is, if I can, this experience that I'm trying not to have is actually happening right here.
It's in you, it's happening, and you're trying to reject it.
I'm having that experience. Yeah. So once there's an allowing and a bringing back and an understanding that, oh, that is my experience, I start coming closer to me and what's really happening. Mm-hmm. And if I can learn to stick with the fear, not to be afraid of it, yeah, not to run from it, not to avoid it, not to manage it, but actually to encounter it directly, consciously, mm-hmm, it turns into something else.
Yeah. And so what's your experience?
That's what's crazy.
You've worked with this a number of times. What's changed for you?
So a good example is doing work in our seminars. Mm-hmm. So typically the way that it used to happen is I could feel as we would get close to a seminar, I just have to think of it. We didn't even have to be there. If I thought of the seminar, anxiety. Yep. Working with that anxiety and almost befriending it, getting used to it, it starts to dissolve itself so that it isn't there anymore. So I have the experience of being in a seminar and not feeling afraid.
Yeah.
I'm just me doing what I do, and the contact with who I really am actually allows for so much more to happen. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So all of the types have this.
Yeah.
We've all got something that's running us in an unconscious way, and we shy away from it, and we deny it, and we try to move away from the experience of it. And the way to get back into the essence nature, back into myself, back mm-hmm. into a feeling of being comfortable and connected and in my joy and in my presence, is to actually go back into that passion. Is to experience it and be with it and sit with it and understand how it works and really come into connection with the lived experience of how it's in you.
And you've got to have help with that.
Yeah.
You can't, first just even seeing it is tough. You
Yeah.
can't even find it, let alone work with it.
It's sneaky, slippery, hard to get a hold of stuff. So you really, there's some attention in a real refined, detailed way towards how is this showing up in your life that you've got to do.
And you need to have support and guidance and a structure, a holding place to do that kind of work mm-hmm. for it to be most effective. You can't get it out of a book. You can't read it in a book and understand it. It has to be a lived experience.
Yeah, the transformation and the shift, you've got to show up and be there for it. Otherwise it's just kind of like a mental game.
Yeah.
So we've designed a seminar that addresses how to work with the passions, with your passion. And the seminar starts with 2 teleseminars that are 2 hours each, and we go right into the passions. We explore them, we get into the nitty-gritty, how are they showing up in your life. You're going to be much more self-aware coming out of these of how your passion is affecting your life and really what the cost is to you in your relationships, at work, in a variety of ways. So you'll be observing that, and then you'll come to the event ready to go, ready to let go, ready to do your transformational work, ready to shift. And at the event, we do a lot of exercises, we do a lot of experiences for you that allow you to shift it, to come in contact with it, to go through it to the other side. You'll be doing work in dyads, you'll be doing work with us in the front of the room. We've got coaches there, so if something comes up for you in the middle of an exercise and you want to go work it offline, outside of the room, you can take a coach offline and go do that work. Working with these is extraordinary.
Well, and it's the thing that everybody says that they want from working with the Enneagram. They want to get back to their true nature, who they really are. I think this is one of the most direct routes.
Yeah.
It's tough. I won't tell you that it's not.
It's streamlined and it's for the brave.
But it works. It works. It's so worth your time and energy. I can't say enough about that.
Yeah. Come check it out.